Hey, what's up, guys? It's Will here, and this is a little kind of impromptu video that I've put together. I wasn't planning making a video until the first UFC event, sorry, of 2019 in Brooklyn in a couple of weeks, and I've not really watched. I've watched a couple of fights for that card. I'm going to start getting into it a little bit more in the next coming week. But tonight, when I come home from work, I was looking across some videos and came across Mr. Arkansas. If some of you know, now Mr. Arkansas is a guy who makes YouTube predictions on here, and he's a guy that I like for the community of YouTube predictors on here because he's different. Me, I think I'm a pretty boring kind of guy on here when you look at some of the people that is on there. But I just like to play. This is who I am. I'm a very kind of quiet guy who does his work, gets on with it. But then you've got a bit of personality. I think I've got. If you meet me, you know I've got a bit of personality. I've got a bit of a funny side, and I like to joke about. I like to make fun of myself. Mr. Arkansas is a guy that people love to kind of hate because he doesn't give a shit. Doesn't bow down to anybody. I'm kind of like that myself, but I'm a lot more quiet in doing so. I do my own thing. I don't worry about other people. But Mr. Arkansas, if he gets any type of animosity towards him, he will come at you 100%. And I first came across Mr. Arkansas after someone sent me a video or a comment on YouTube where he was talking about predictors on here. And he had, I'm not going to say he had a go at me, but he said, I picked too many favourites. And maybe that was the case. I don't know, but I over the last probably year and a half, I've got to not really speak with Mr. Arkansas, but view his videos on here and chat with a little bit with him on YouTube. And I like the guy. I think the guy's different. I think he's good at what he does, and I think that he's different. And people just don't like the way he acts. And I'm a little bit. I think he's funny. I think some of his stuff is hilarious, and I have laughed hard at some of the things on there. And like I say, he goes after other predictors on here. It's something I don't really like to do too much because I think it's hard enough getting on here and doing it. But everybody's different, and I don't mind him going after other guys, especially if they say bad stuff about him, and then he's just defending himself. I've said a few things about other guys in the past that have spoken about me being too boring, too this, too that. That's fine. That's your opinion. I would rather spend my time watching fights and making videos on responding to people's claims. They don't even know me. They watch me on a video, and anybody that knows me knows I'm a quiet kind of humble guy. And I love this. I do really love making these videos. So I came across this video for top 20 upsets of 2018. And he's given himself the moniker the Underdog King. And I thought to myself, I think I've got a shot at this Underdog King moniker, to say the least. Especially after the year I had betting wise. I made a commitment at the end of 2017 after having a bad year betting wise that if I liked underdogs, I was going to go after them and bet them hard. And I did that. I kept a lot of stats on what I was going to do in 2018, the number of dogs I won on in a month, how many dogs won throughout the year. Yeah. I took a lot of stats through the year, and I went back and looked at them after I watched this video tonight. And I hit a fair amount of underdogs. Now, what I will say, watching Mr. Arkansas's video to mine, he's hit some big ones. He's hit something like, I think he hit the Paul Craig one, which I think is one of the biggest flukes we've ever had in the UFC. Still called it though. Cejudo over DJ. I still think DJ won, but he picked Cejudo, and two of the three judges, that was enough for them to pick him to win the fight. So props to him, he picked him. And there was a few other ones there. But I'm going to put myself out there. I think I picked more underdogs than anybody across the predictions there. Now, if somebody knows of another predictor that I'm not maybe too familiar with, that's maybe did more than I have, then let me know. Because I hit near 90 underdogs throughout the whole year, which I think is quite a lot. And the thing different to me is my top 20, maybe, I don't know, I don't know the betting, what Mr. Arkansas does. I don't know whether he bets his underdogs. This year, out of my top 20, I bet 17 of the 20 underdogs on there, which if you're hitting underdogs constantly, which I think is a big thing, if you can spot the right matchups and see the missed matchups with the betting lines and so on, you can take advantage of that. And I think I did that in some instances in this fight, in these fights, I should say. So I'm throwing my hat out there to Mr. Arkansas. I think I've got a chance of being Underdog King. This is all in fun because, like I say, I love doing a little bit of chit chat, making videos like this. I really wasn't planning making a video until the Brooklyn card, but this kind of piqued my interest, and that's what I like about Mr. Arkansas, because he's different. He does some different things, and I like that. I just go with the fight predictions. Also, at the end of this, guys, I'm going to kind of relay what I'm going to do in 2019 with a couple of things that I put out there and what I might be doing. So listen to the end of this, but I'm going to go through my top 20 underdogs that I hit for this year. And you've got to remember, I'll let you know which underdogs I didn't bet. There's only 3 or 4 of them I didn't bet throughout the year. So let me bring up my list here. I'm not as good as Mr. Arkansas where he puts all in the, on the screen and this and that. I'm crap with stuff. I just sit in front of here and I gibber gabber, and lucky enough some people like to listen to me. So bring down this. I'm going to go and have a look at my stats document, and there we go. We are on to my top 20 here, and my number 1 underdog pick of the year happened in November, the 25th anniversary show, and it was Mike Trizano plus 320 over Luis Pena. A lot of people are on Pena. I wasn't high on him. I thought Trizano was just a well-rounded mixed martial artist, and it turned out to be so. Good striking, had takedowns, controlled him a little bit, like that one there. So that was my number 1, was Mike Trizano. Like I say, Arkansas hit some big ones. 3 plus 325. I think I've seen a plus 415 in there with the Paul Craig one. So yeah. Number 2, JJ Aldrich plus 260. I just like that matchup for her. I thought Aldrich is not great, but she's very, very solid in many areas, and she won that fight there. Number 3, UFC in New York in November. Another one. I think the first 3 are actually all in November, which is crazy. Marcus Rogerio De Lima against Adam Vicerek. He was plus 250. Don't rate Vicerek. I don't really rate De Lima all that much, but I thought those odds were off for the guy that could bang you out in the first couple of minutes easily. Then that went 15 minutes, which is never nice in heavyweight fights, but he got the job done. Number 4, Gillian Robertson at UFC Liverpool against Molly McCann. I've got a little bit of gripe with this one because I should have went harder on Gillian Robertson because I was so confident in that pick, even when I was down in Liverpool. And Molly's a lovely, lovely girl, but I really, really like Gillian Robertson in that matchup. I spoke to Din Thomas a fair bit that week, and he says that she's not losing this fight, and it turned out that she was too good on the ground, and McCann got tapped out fairly easily. So plus 235, Gillian Robertson from UFC Liverpool. She takes up number 4. Number 5, Johnny Walker. I think this was another one in November. It was against Khalil Roundtree Jr. I got my plus 215. Like I've always said in my videos, I'm not the biggest admirer of Khalil. I think he's got some good aspects to his game, but you can beat him. And Johnny Walker came in there in his UFC debut and did that. Number 5 on this list here, and these 5, 6, and 7 are 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, are all the same number. But I just went by months that they cashed in. So number 6 is Polo Reyes, away back in January. He won that fight there. I can't remember his opponent. Was it Matt Frivola, maybe? I could be wrong. Away back earlier in the year. That was plus 200. Number 7 I've got on my list is Xioanan, when she fought back in the summer. I think it was Viviane Pereira. She was a plus 200 underdog, which was crazy. Plus all these picks were, I usually put my videos out on a Sunday, a Monday, usually Mondays. So that's the line. I went back and looked at all the lines that I had and I wrote it down, and this is what I had. So Xioanan plus 200. September, my number 8 was Diego Sanchez plus 200 over Craig White. I could not believe that Diego Sanchez was plus 200 in that fight against Craig White. I know Diego's, I'm not going to say he's a shot fighter. He's a guy that's accumulated a lot of damage. But this was a matchup I just thought he could excel in, and he showed that he could. and won that one. Number 9, David Branch, away back in the year. He was plus 193, and I was like really, really shocked at that price as well. I thought that he should never. Sorry, guys. I just want to see who was against. I'm not having the best. I forgot to write down the fighters they were against for the majority of them. Thiago Santos. That was it. He knocked out Thiago Santos. Holy shit. So, yeah, he did that. Plus 193. I had I think it was 2.5 units on. I had him there. So I made a fair bit of cash back. A guy that I bet on twice as an underdog in 2018 came through. My number 10 is Corey Anderson, plus 190 against Glover Teixeira. And then I also went and cashed him against Zila Latifi, plus 130 at 232 there, which was nice. My number 11 is Donald Cowboy Cerrone from earlier on this year, where I just thought the line was off in that one. I think it was, no, it wasn't the earlier, that was a November one. That was Platinum Mike Perry. That line was so crazy. And I'm actually watching fights with him, Alexander Hernandez, and he's an underdog again, which is a little bit surprising to me. So I don't know where I'm going to go with that one. I've still got some fights to watch, but that's interesting. Ben Saunders against Jake Ellenberger is my number 12, plus 183. Jake Ellenberger is always on the fade list, as is Ben Saunders, but I thought Ben Saunders had more tools to win the fight, more of a chin as well. So yeah, he takes my number 12. Number 13 was Darren Elkins, away back earlier on in the year against Michael Johnson, plus 175. Stipe Miocic was plus 175 against Francis Ngannou. He was my 14, number 14 on this list here. And that's one of the guys I did not bet, and he was actually a big point in my year, because I bet a few underdogs earlier on in the year, like your Darren Elkins, Jeremy Stevens, and so on in the first event of the year. And then we moved on to UFC 220, and I was super confident that he was going to beat Francis Ngannou. Everybody was pushing Ngannou in the face, saying, look, this is going to be our next heavyweight champion. I wasn't sure of it. I didn't bet it. I was pissed that I didn't bet it. From the rest of that time, the year on out, I bet pretty much every underdog that I could throughout the year, and I cashed many underdogs. So Stipe Miocic is number 14. Number 15 was Matt Schnell, when he was fighting in the Middle East in over in Asia, and over there he was plus 175 as well. Number 16 is a recent one, Joaquin Silva from Milwaukee a few weeks back, against Jared Gordon. Now, he was down 2 rounds in that fight, but I just thought he always had a chance to maybe knock him out. Went out there, did that. On the same card, my number 17 is Mike Rodriguez. I got my plus 170 when he beat, I forgot who the guy is against. I want to say it begins with an A. Sorry, this is going to annoy me. Let me see. UFC 232. What's it? Alan something. Sorry, guys. I'm not having the best kind of memory. I've kind of shut off of MMA a little bit here. Adam Milstead. That was it. Number 18 was Derek Lewis against Alexander Volkov. Was down 2 rounds in that fight. Came through again. Number 19 was Macy Chaisson against Pani Kianzad. I like Pani a lot, but after I watched that last fight before the finale, I thought Macy had tools to win that fight. And my number 20 is plus 158. Macy was plus 165, sorry. And plus number 20, Jeremy Stevens against Doho Choi, plus 158. Rounds out my top 20 guys there. But I've got a whole list. I've literally got a whole list of underdogs throughout the year that I hit. I mean, December I hit Max Holloway as an underdog is crazy to me. Barboza as an underdog was crazy to me. Nathaniel Wood as an underdog was so crazy to me against Andre Ewell. And I've got many other ones there just looking throughout the year. Joseph Benavidez plus 115 against Alex Perez. Alistair Overeem against Pavlovich plus 110. Bobby Muffet plus 130 against Chaz Skelly. Yair Rodriguez, that's a lucky one. He was losing that fight with a second to go. He was plus 130. Anthony Smith against Volkan, plus 150. Sean Strickland on the same card, 115. Tyrone Woodley against Darren Till, plus 125. Derek Lewis, obviously, I mentioned. I had Kat Zingano a way back in August. I had Michael Johnson. I had Shimon Moraes in that month as well. Into July, I had Alexander Hernandez against OEM. That was another one, plus 125. Damir Hadzovic against Nick Hein was plus 135. Alexander Rakic, plus 138 against Justin Ledet, which, crazy line to me. Kat Zingano again. I thought that might actually be wrong. I think it could be wrong, actually. Yeah, that one is wrong. Plus 109 is wrong. Alessio Di Chirico, plus 147. I had a couple from the Dana White Contender Series. I had T. Edwards at plus 110. I had Jordan Williams at plus 110. So, yeah, I had a lot there. I think I'm only halfway through the year looking at that one there. Cesar Ferreira. I had Hanato Moicano against Calvin Keita, which was a little bit of a crazy one. Sean O'Malley against Andre Sukumta, I thought it was plus 128. Latifi, 113. Donald Cerrone, 105. Yoel Romero against Rockhold, 150. Andre Fili against Dennis Bermudez, plus 140. Vince Bichelle, 115. Mads Burnell against Mike Santiago. I could go on and on and on, but that's my top 20. I'll maybe put it down in the drop-down box what my numbers were for that. But personally, I think I've got a good opportunity for being the underdog king here on YouTube. Now, not like this is not an attack on Mr. Arkansas. This is a little bit of fun. I'm just putting my name in the hat there as a guy who picks underdogs regularly and maybe as much as anybody else on YouTube. And yeah, just a little bit of fun. I might have to go back and count and see how many I actually did get throughout the year. And that's something that's going to come with me into 2019 is betting underdogs, because I think if you can spot them, you just have to feel confident and you have to go with them. And it's been a big, big thing for me this year. Last year, I should say. I'm not used to this 2019 malarkey. But yeah, I've had a great year. For 2018, I'm looking to go big on 2019. So I'm going to be adding a couple more things here. I did mention at the start, I put a little kind of poll thing on YouTube before the new year. What would you like? One thing I am going to try and do this year, and I only did it once last year, was the Dana White Contender Series. I only made one, and the only reason I did that was because I was on holiday and I had time to watch tape. Now, it's hard when you've got a young daughter, kids, so it's really, really tough, and I find the time to do that. I'm going to try and do that with every Dana White show this year, if I can. It might not be the videos that you're used to with me, like long-ass videos, me talking about. I might not be able to watch as many fights, but I'm going to see if I can see any leans and kind of go with them. Because I've seen that a few other people, MMA Prediction Guru does it. There might be a couple other guys out there, but like I say, I work a lot of hours, and obviously with a child, it's not easy. And I don't like to half-ass picks either. I like to watch fights and be thorough in my pick, because I'm putting out there for you guys. And as much as I've seen it in the past, I don't want you guys to take my picks as gospel. You've got to do your own work, bet the own guys. But I've had a lot of guys in 2018 who've took my picks. They've messaged me. I've given them the confidence to put on that bet, and they've went and cashed big. I've got so many messages from people throughout 2018. It's crazy. The one thing I am going to do, and I will put the link in the drop-down box here, I'm going to be making a DraftKings game for every UFC event. I'm still not sure whether I should go how big the entry fee should be, how many people should be in it. So I think for the first event in Brooklyn, I think I'm going to go maybe 20 people. I think I can get 20 people. I like this predominantly to be for my YouTube guys that are play DraftKings. But if I need to fill it with some of the friends, then I will. But I don't know how big you guys want the entry fee to be. $2 winner takes all, $3 winner takes all, or we could do the top two like it says on there. I went and had a little look. Personally, I'm a guy that finishing second kind of sucks, so I'd rather winner takes all and everything. And I think we should try and do that for every event. I think there's a little bit of fun between myself, my viewers, and then I could come on every week and I could say, well done to this guy for taking and cashing our money. Great lineup, talk about his lineup, and so on and so on. That's something I do want to do for 2019. Also, I think on that poll of mine, it was fighter recaps. Now, Sunday's a rough day for me because I have to stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning to watch fights. I'm up again usually 8:30 to look after my daughter while my fiance goes to work until like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. on the Sunday night. So it's rough, but I'm going to try and do that if I can. It's not something I've really ever been too enamored with doing, but I'm here for you guys to see. One of the things I do like doing, and plus on Sunday I do my MMA Huddle podcast, which is, so it's just non-stop. I like making matchups. It's something I do after every event. I've got my phone. I put down who they're going to face and who I would like them to. And I usually get them wrong every time, but I love doing it. So it's something I might do with that one there. But yeah, there's a couple of things I want to do for next year. If you want to hit me up and you want to be into my DraftKings league, let me know. I will send you an invite. Send me your DK handles, whatever it may be. I will get you in there, and every week you will get the invite. But let me know what you want. $2, $3. If you want to go $5. I don't want to go through the roof with it. Like $10, $20. I think $5 at most is that. $3 I maybe start off with. Winner takes all, 20 people, $60 I don't think it's a bad thing whatsoever. But like I say, this was more a response to Mr. Arkansas, and I hope he comes back with something, because I think the guy's funny. I think, and he's got people that, you're not funny, this and that. Some bits get me and make me laugh. It really does make me laugh. And he's not a bad dude. And like I say, I always say to people, come on here, do what I'm doing. And it's not as easy as you think, because you're putting yourself out there for, especially for myself, it seems to be thousands of people. So I'm putting myself out there, and some people, I'll be honest, some people are jackasses on YouTube. There really is, but there's a lot more good people than there is bad people on there. But just realize, guys, that making these week in, week out, whether it be Mr. Arkansas, MMA Prediction Guru, Best Fight Picks, Kelton and Justin, Wayne Geechee, I could go on. I really could go on. And if I forgot about you, Wyatt's a new guy that started making these videos. But there's loads of people that do it, and there's some people that don't stay consistent to it either. They kind of come and go sometimes. Brandon Kay is another guy that does it as well, which is another guy I should mention. Newsome MMA, I shouldn't forget about that dude. That guy's a solid guy. I've got a lot of time. John, who's on his show as well. I've got a lot of time for Newsome MMA. And then there's obviously all your people like your Brett at place that are doing DraftKings and putting content out every week. Brett is one of those guys that I look in when he writes about fights and he talks about fights. I try and take notice. I know he speaks more from a DraftKings sort of thing, sort of side of things, but the guy's got a good mind. He's got a good eye for fights as well. Lots of respect for Brett and what he does for the DFS community and just the community as general. I really want more people to do stuff like this. I think when I started way back in, it's nearly my 6-year anniversary in here. When I started way back in the day, like I was scared shitless, and it's just me sitting here talking. There's nobody looking back. Sometimes I have the chat on, sometimes I don't. But it's not as easy as you think, because if you I'm forever saying stupid shit. I'm saying stuff wrong, and like that eats at you. But it's like, that's just me. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to try and be something I'm not. I don't edit things out. Literally, I've never edited a video once. I don't know how to do it. I'm crap when it comes to computers. All I know is hit that button, that webcam's on, this mic's on, and I'm ready to go. I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to stop and then start again, because that's just silly. So I'll make mistakes. I will always make mistakes for as long as I'm doing this. But that's me. I'm not one of these guys that has to be perfect with everything. I'm not perfect, so I'm not going to spend hours editing stuff. And some of this crazy stuff that I say, people seem to love it sometimes as well. So, but my big thing for 2019, if you like talking about fights, just do it. make your own channel, start building something, and I guarantee you will love it as much as I do. This is my baby. And like I said, I've made goals for 2019, which you guys are hopefully going to help me with. Let me go. I made a little list. And one of the big things that I never hit for 2018 was I've never had a video that's went over 10,000 views. I've been close, but never over there. That's something I want to hit. Just a personal goal for mine, because I never thought I'd even hit 1,000. I never even thought I'd hit 5,000. So my goal for 2019 is hit 3,200 subscribers. I'm at 2,000. At the start of this year, I was at 2,441. I've lost a couple since then. 1,000 subscribers for the year is a high-end goal, because this year I think I had close to 900 subscribers. So hitting 1,000 would be legit awesome. So if I could hit 1,000, go up to 3,400 would be a huge goal for mine. But 3,200 is kind of what I'm aiming at. First 10,000k video in here and hit 500,000 views, which I'm going to hit actually very, very soon, because I'm at like 490,000 overall for all my videos. So that should maybe go up to 600,000, looking at that there. So that's some of my goals there. Like, I really want to try and go over 3,000, because like I said, I've said this for year in, year out. I hit 500 subscribers. I hit 1,000. I hit 2,000. I cannot believe I've got numbers like that. Like 2,000 people, 3,000 people a week watch my videos. That's so crazy to me. Whether you like it, whether you don't, it's still, you're watching. And like, my watch time is up huge this year. From like, it's like my videos are close to an hour sometimes. People are watching in excess of 32 minutes of my videos. That's a lot of time to be watching. So, but I'm kind of going off track a little bit. This is a video kind of a little bit here, there, and everywhere. But it was mostly a response to Mr. Arkansas, because I think I've got a good chance of being underdog picking king here on YouTube, just with the amount that I've picked, the amount that I've bet, and the amount that I've hit as well. I will say that Mr. Arkansas is hitting bigger ones than I am. He's hit a bigger one. My biggest was only 320 for the year, which is still good, especially with the money that I am putting on the fighters, because I made a load of money in 2018, which is my main goal for betting wise in 2018 was to make back what I lost in 2017, which was I was minus 43 units for 2017. For 2018, I was plus 85.01 for the year. So I pretty much made 42% unit profit. And that's depending on your betting wage. Betting wagers, that is how much you're making back. Some people bet 100, I bet 50. So I made 60, sorry. So I made in the guts of 2,500 to close to 3,000, I think it was. Maths are terrible. Money-wise, and I've upped that for 2019 to try and see if I can continue on what I did in 2018. You can find all my bets, by the way, at Bet MMA Tips, Will Martin, and go and follow me on there. You can come and track my picks and see how I'm doing for this year. My goal kind of betting-wise this year is just to continue to have a positive year, because I don't think I'll even get close to matching what I did last year. If I can get a quarter of what I did, like 20 to 25 unit profit with bigger unit sizes, then I've had a great year. But like always, if you want to talk fights with me, bets that you have in mind, and if you want my opinion on where you should go, and like I say, at the end of the day, it's your money, you play with it how you please. But I'm always here on Twitter, Will Martin 7 MMA. Come in there, direct message me. If I don't get back to you straight away, I will get back to you, because there's loads of people that do it week in, week out. You can send me an email on my Google mail there, bigbilber7mma@gmail.com. I'll get back to you when I can. But like I say, this video was more a response to Mr. Arkansas, so hopefully I'm going to get a response off him. And yeah, I put my name in the hat to be the Underdog King. I really do. And we'll see how this goes in 2019 with the underdogs, because I will be picking underdogs this year. There's no doubt about it. I did it last year. I'm going to do it again this year, and we'll maybe see who lands the more. I've got no doubt about it. You're going to land a bigger one, than, like numbers wise, than I will. But I think I might find more underdogs or pick more underdogs than you will. which will be interesting. So I'm gonna keep that in my stats. I've got a whole stat sheet ready to go for 2019 to see how I do compared to years before. But just a little video, a little fun one, I hope. If you've got any suggestions for me that you would like to see on the channel, because I did put a couple other things in there, like interviewing betting guys or DFS guys. If you've got something you'd like me to do, then let me know, and I will try and, like I said, I'll try and facilitate for you guys, because it's you guys that want to try and help out. You seem to like watching me doing stuff, so if I can do that to kind of help you get through an hour of your time or whatever, then I don't mind doing that at all. But just want to say a massive shout out to all the predictors through 2018. Some people have called me kind of the OG of kind of YouTube predictions. I've been around a long time and doing this, coming into 6 years, which is crazy. I've got a lot of videos. I went through some hard times. I went through like with the loss of my son. I literally made a video, I want to say a week after, maybe a week or 2 weeks after I lost my son, and my YouTube channel helped me immensely to come through that. Then there was obviously the birth of my daughter in 2017. So we've been through the highs, we've been through the lows. I've had fight cards on here where I think I've went 1 in like 12, and there's fight cards on here where I've picked everyone's right. So it's crazy, the highs, the ups and downs. It's all fun though. But like, a shout out to all the predictors who come on here week in, week out, do their shit, do their research, and looking to get better. Now, they might not have the best year betting wise, but they're trying, they're putting in the work. I did that in 2017. If you look at my first 6 months of that year, or 5 months actually, I was really good. From when my daughter came in June, skyrocketed until December. I could not win a card. I was god awful. But since then, I've been flying off that way, and I've only been looking up, and that's where I'm only looking for this year. So, like I say, shout out to everybody. Mr. Arkansas, best fight picks. Dan Levy and Shaq are really good guys. Dan's a guy that I know, I've said this before, I've met personally. One of the guys out there that he's not had the best year 2018. I guarantee he's going to bounce back 2019. I have no doubt about it whatsoever. But people will go in because there's a lot of touts out there. I've actually had people within the last 6 months saying, you should go tout. You should sell your picks. There is people that tail my picks out there that have did very well this year. I don't know. I just don't think that's for me. I've never really been one for like that. If I was to maybe reel off consecutive years and I could potentially help people, then maybe. But I don't know whether that's for me. It seems to be for some guys. I don't think it's for me. But things change, and if things change, but you never know. But just a shout out to everybody: Newsome MMA, MMA Prediction Guru, Brandon K, Wayne Geechee. There's loads of other guys out there that make stuff. MMA God, who's not, he doesn't do them really all that much anymore, but he's still a good guy, and hopefully we'll see a couple of videos from him in 2019. So until then, I think, I don't know when this video is going to come out, maybe next Sunday I might get the video out for UFC on ESPN 1, Henry Cejudo against TJ Dillashaw. Really good fight card actually. Lots of good fights I'm interested in. Keep your eye out for that. MMA Huddle, my podcast, if you want to hear me and John talk fights. We're over 400 subscribers, so that's awesome. Go subscribe over there as well if you can. And until next week, do your tape study, watch some fights, make some bets, let me know who you're betting on. But thank you for all the support in 2018. Let's make 2019 huge. Shout out to Mr. Arkansas for the video. This is really the gist of where my video for this is coming from here. But shout out to that guy. Cool ass dude. Until then, take care, all the best, and I will see you in about a week and a half's time. All the best.